Hi everyone, I am Goddess Green, and I would like to share with you today about the process of transformation. In my earlier post, I talked about my process and how I went from someone that was living unconsciously or basically asleep to someone that is now awake and a conscious liver. The major turning point for this, the major motivator for this was to have the life that I was dreaming of. I felt very unworthy. I felt very insecure. I felt very afraid. I felt very ashamed. That's like a big one. And I didn't even know that I was having these emotions. I didn't know that that was the vibe I was carrying. I just was. And I was trying everything with every single effort, and nothing seemed to be working out. And I just never felt good enough to take the steps that I needed to take. So I'm living my life consciously now. I'm aware of how I'm vibrating, the thoughts that I'm thinking, how I'm feeling, and I'm also aware of the consequences of these. And I'm making choices that are helping me move in the direction of becoming who it is that I want to be. And who I want to be is the person that's living the reality that I desire. It's the reality that I dream of. We call our dreams and goals, etc. So when you wake up, you realize that you're thinking a certain way and that you're a certain person. And then now the challenge is to get to where you want to go and to be the person that you want to be. I call this the process of transformation. And in order to begin your process of transformation, I would first of all suggest that you know where you are. Know where you are, know where you stand, know the kind of person you are, know how you're vibrating, know how you're thinking, know the actions that you're taking. You have to understand that the thoughts that you're thinking are creating an emotion within you, and your emotions are are inspiring you to certain actions and certain behaviors and certain relationships that are reaffirming what it is that you're already thinking. So if you have a certain life that you desire, you have certain goals when it comes to family and relationships and money and how you want to feel and your passions and the adventures you want to have in life, all the things that make life so wonderful and so beautiful. You have a picture of that, you know where you want to go, or you have an idea, but you just don't seem like you can get there. The problem is you. Yeah. The problem is you. And there's nothing wrong with you. You're perfectly complete. You're fine. You're worthy. You're beautiful. You're perfection. But it's really the way you're thinking, and the way you're thinking is making you. And if you don't realize this, you're just going to be thinking a lot of your thoughts on automatic, and you're just going to keep being the person that you've always been, not knowing that the person you've always been is what's creating the life that you have. So if you're not satisfied with all the things that I listed, the things that make life so wonderful, then you have to change you. The first step in transforming your life would be, like I said, to know who you are. And how do you know who you are? Look around you. Look at your home. Look at your friends. How do you feel about your friends? How do you feel about your home? How do you feel about your environment? How do you feel about society? What kinds of thoughts are you thinking about society? How do you feel about romance and dating and the opposite sex or the same sex? How do you feel about your hobbies? Are you living your life passionately? How are you waking up in the morning? Are you excited to get on with the day? Are you doing mainly things that you feel happy and excited about throughout the day? Or are you just like stumbling along and confused and lost and unhappy and unfulfilled? Those are the questions you need to ask yourself. And if a majority of the answer to these questions is no, I'm not happy, I don't feel good, I'm not excited, I don't like it, everything sucks, I'm always fighting with this person, this can't seem to work out, that's not good, then you have to change the way you're thinking. Then you know that where you are and who you are right now is the reason why you have the results that you have. So you know where you are. Now, where do you want to go? That's the second step. You have to know how you want to feel in your relationships, how you want to feel in your friendships, what kind of friends you want, what kind of conversations do you want to be having with your friends, where do you want to go, how do you want to feel when you're with your friends, what kind of emotions are dominant in your friendships, where your friends, what are your friends like, what do they feel like when they're around, romance, the same thing, what kind of partner do you have, are you happy with your partner, are you physically attracted to them, do you feel worthy of them, do you feel supported, do you support them, all these beautiful things that we desire in a relationship. Also, with family, how do you, when you look back in your family and you think about them, or when you spend time with them, how are you feeling? Are you feeling positive, or are you feeling criticized or put down, or feeling like you don't want to spend time with them? All these things, not saying that the people in your life are not also at fault, because we only like attracts like, but in order to move towards a new reality where the people in your life are more positive, supportive, loving, and caring, and giving, and open, and intimate like you want them to be, you have to transform who you are. They're not going to change for you, and you're not going to change for them. You have to change for you, and once you start to change, you're going to see that some people will change with you because they feel inspired by the way you are now, and they want to move in that direction, or they will just fall off and they will no longer be in your life because they're no longer a match to who you are, because like I said, like attracts like. And some people falling out of your life is something that you're going to also have to accept and own, and just trust that it's a sign that everything is working out for you. If people are falling out of your life and you're trying to find yourself holding on to them, building resentment, angry, or wondering, or overanalyzing, then you still have some things about yourself that you need to work out. You need to understand why you have a hard time letting go, or maybe you just have patterns of thinking about rejection and unworthiness and not feeling loved. So you want to hold on to people that don't want to be there. You want people there that want to be there. And you also want to be there. That's how it will be best for everybody. So you have to have a clear picture of where you want to go. How do you develop a clear picture of where you want to go? There's something called dream building. I'm sure a lot of people have heard of it. You know, when you hear a lot of teachers tell you to take out pictures from magazines of what it is that you want to experience, maybe a certain kind of car, or a certain kind of lifestyle, or a certain kind of relationship, a certain kind of home, or when you see people that have what it is that you want, you know, pay attention to them, listen to the way they speak, listen to the way they are, the way they feel. When you're around, try to spend time around these things, because the more time you spend taking pictures out of magazines and looking at the magazine and visualizing and being around the people that have what you have, the more you're going to sort of become accustomed to that feeling and that vibe. Because your mind doesn't really know the difference between what you're really experiencing and what you're just visualizing. Whatever you're visualizing, your mind is thinking it's real. So the more often you visualize it, it's literally like you're having the experience over and over again. And when you have this experience over and over again, your brain releases chemicals. Your brain causes your body to release chemicals that make you feel certain emotions. And these emotions are the emotions that we call joy, enthusiasm, I'm sorry. I'm a little tired. Joy, enthusiasm, passion, exhilaration, excitement. All these emotions are from thoughts that we're thinking. And if you spend time, I always recommend 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes at night. If you spend time just focusing on these emotions and these scenarios that are causing you to feel this emotion every single day and as often as you can, you start to see that this becomes your state of being. It's almost like you're living it every single day, and it becomes natural. Now, once enthusiasm, joy, passion, excitement becomes natural for you, you will find that circumstances, situations, and people that are a match to this will just be drawn to you, and you just find yourself in those circles and in living that life, and you wondered, wow, this was easy. You're not even going to realize it has happened. You just be living it because it has become normal. And the reason it has become normal is you've practiced it so much that it has become your normal state of being. So you don't have any anxiety about it. You don't have any fear about it. You don't have any shame. You don't have any worries. You don't have any concern. You're just cool. And those things or people or situations or circumstances will be fine being around you because you're cool. You're cool about it. You're not giving off a tense, crazy, uncomfortable, uneasy vibe. It's like being around someone that's uneasy all the time. It makes you uneasy. You're like, what's happening? What's wrong? What's the problem? What's going on? It makes you want to get away. So when you have an uneasy vibe around something that you desire, it also becomes uneasy around you and it also wants to get away. So you have to practice yourself into the state of being where you become cool and it just becomes normal or even boring or even uninteresting to you because you've lived it over and over and over again in your mind. You see? So how do you draw a clear picture of what you want? By taking pictures out of magazines, by observing people in the world that have what you want, and just spending time to feel what you believe it is that they're feeling. And when they're having that conversation or the interaction, are they calm, cool, are they confident, do they feel relaxed and settled, what do they like, and just focus on that and practice it, like I said. And visualize 20 minutes every single day. I always say that appreciation is the most powerful vibration. That is before love. If you wake up every morning and you write 3 pages of anything at all that you appreciate, once you do that, first of all, your mind is already in a positive state, which is perfect, which is beautiful. And then right after doing that, you write another 20 minutes of what it is that you want to create in your life. Makes the positivity even 10 times more intense, and it makes it much more easier for you to visualize yourself living that life. And you do this in the morning and you do this at night, it'll be much easier for you to just have that state of being become normal and for you to just become a person that lives in that high vibrational, positive, attractive state of being, which is what I'm sure everybody wants. Not just to attract things, but because it really, really feels good. When you continue this practice, you will get to a point where you realize that the feeling, the way you feel about yourself and with yourself every single day is even going to be much more interesting and exciting and better to you than the results that you're trying to get, which is usually like some car, some lover, a house, a lifestyle, and all the things that, make life very delicious. So draw a clear picture of it, where it is that you're going. Know what you want. Know where you want to go. Draw a clear picture of what it is that you're going so that you can know exactly how to shift yourself into this person that has this reality. And there are tools that can help you, like the ones that I've mentioned. Visualization every day. Dream building, getting books and things together and using your hands to put it together so you can see it as often as you can, so you can remember this feeling and practice this feeling until it becomes normal. Writing, I call writing scripting, writing about it every single day, as often as you can, 3 pages at least. Appreciation alongside with writing about what you want and how it's going to feel when you have it. Even better, it makes it move 10 times faster. It makes the positive emotions even just gush out, if it's the right way to put it. And speaking about it. When I first started my process, I didn't have a lot of people in my life that I felt will be supportive of my dreams and my desires. I was used to people that, were a little bit negative, not just because that's just who they are, not to attack them or anything like that. Sometimes people just don't know. It's just who they are. And they don't believe that they themselves can have it. So, of course, they're going to tell you that you can't have it and that you can't do it because they don't see it for themselves. So I was very, very skeptical about sharing what I wanted with other people. So I would make videos talking about my desires and I would say it out loud, because when you speak about something, the neural pathways in your brain on that subject, it's getting stronger and better. So the more often you think about it, speak about it, focus on it, the more you're on it, the stronger that neural pathway becomes. And once that neural pathway becomes really strong, it's 10 times easier for you to get on that subject and get on that path of thinking the next time, your mind just makes it 100 times easier for you. And when you're thinking like that for a very long time, like I said, the emotions are just gushing and you're feeling good about it. It's just a matter of time until you find yourself in the circumstances that allow this thing to come into your life. And by the time it's in your life, you kind of almost don't really care about it, because you're just like, I've already experienced it a million times in my mind and before sleep and while I was awake, and enjoyed it so much that now I kind of don't care because I've had it a lot. So it's like, whatever. And when you're like, whatever, it likes being around you because it doesn't feel an angst. It doesn't feel that feeling of unworthiness, discomfort, this or that. It just feels like, oh, whatever. And everybody's just whatever. Cool. So the last thing I would suggest is practice. Practice is everything, with exercise, with diet, with your state of mind, your state of being. Practice. The more often you practice this, and don't be too hard on yourself in the beginning. You have to start little. You have to make little strides, and then when you see the results of those little efforts, you can put in more. Don't just jump into it. Once you jump into it doing too much, you're going to stress yourself out. You're just affirming your negative beliefs that you can't do it anyway, and then you're going to give up, and then you're going to say, oh, I'm worthless, I'm unworthy, it's never going to happen to me, I'm shit, I might as well like kill myself, or whatever it is that, you know, people say to themselves when they're being really negative. So just practice just that 20 minutes every day. And when you practice, just let go. Just practice it, feel it, let it go, and move on with your life. You don't want to spend too much time looking for the results or trying to see if it has worked or if it's happening already. And, you know, that just affirms like an insecurity that you have. The fact that you want to see it right away means that you don't really believe it's going to happen. Because if you really believe it's going to happen, you wouldn't be looking for it. It's already done. So you're just living your life. You're just doing the next thing because it's already worked out. So you just find ways to practice these new emotions. And if you find yourself getting angst about when it's going to happen, when it's all, when you're going to see the results, when is this going to arrive, if this is the person, just tell yourself, you know what, I'm not going to freak out. I'm going to use this as an opportunity to practice trust, or I'm going to use this as an opportunity to practice having faith. I'm going to use this as an opportunity to practice being relaxed, and, you know, stuff like that. As time goes on, you're going to find yourself noticing more about patterns of thinking that you have. I had 3 things that I wanted to create when I started this becoming spiritual. And when I woke up, I wanted to create my home. I wanted to create $50,000, and I wanted my lover. Now I got my home, my $50,000, I'm still in the process, and my lover, I'm still in the process. I've dated many people as I started, and dating now has become something very positive for me. It has become something a lot of fun. It's become something that I look forward to. In the past, it was just dreadful and scary, and it just made me nervous and anxious, and I just felt insecure and unsure. But now I'm looking forward to the things I was afraid of in the past, because it makes me focus better. It shows me what my vibe was when that happened, so I know exactly how to adjust. So once you know how this works, you're not going to be afraid to put yourself out there anymore, because you know how to navigate and like sort of like change yourself and focus in a way where you can become the kind of person that has this experience in their lives. You're no longer afraid and running and hiding, and you just make better choices, and you're not afraid to make those choices. And that is also the beginning of what I believe is called having a positive self-esteem, or having self-esteem. I think saying having a positive self-esteem is just like, is the word redundant? Yeah. So I am Goddess Green. Remember to practice. And if you guys have any questions, I am so open and eager to answer them. It only helps me solidify the things that I already know. And I'm still in the process. I'm not a know-it-all. I don't know everything. And I have a lot to learn from you, I'm sure. And you have some things to learn from me. And this is going to be a wonderful, blissful, just exciting exchange. So, Goddess Green again. Thank you so much for letting me share, and I'm looking forward to the next post. I love you.